Impact Productions, a multi-layer technology company providing on-site, online, and in-studio video services. Contact Impact Productions to capture your story.
Hey y'all, welcome to season 3 of Dano on the Counter. So excited that y'all are here to join me on this Sunday morning to enjoy another great recipe, one of my mom's favorite recipes, taco pie.
Mouth-watering family recipes, easy to make meals, humor and faith fill the inspiring show Dano on the Counter. Born with only half a spine, Dano Burkhardt was never supposed to be able to hold his head up. Despite countless surgeries, a stroke, leg amputations, and kidney transplants, Dano developed a contagious love for life. Join Dano as he shares his easy-to-make dishes and the hope that keeps him pushing forward.
For Mom's taco pie, you're going to need 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of sour cream, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 eggs, 2 pounds of ground beef, 4 16-ounce cans of kidney beans, 12 ounces of tomato paste, and 1 pound of cheddar cheese. Hey everybody, welcome into the studio today. Today's a little bit different setup on our show. We're going to start off with the Dano Talk, and then we'll move back into the finishing the cooking and back out to the kitchen and shopping. But I wanted to start off with the studio today to explain something that happened to me this last spring, something that was near and dear to my heart, very tragic for our family, and that was the loss of my mother, Cindy Burkhardt. This was so unexpected for her passing, March 15th. We were getting ready for St. Patrick's Day, the holiday, and I got a call from my uncle that my mom had passed. And of course, she lives in the state of Florida, and I live here in Pennsylvania. And immediately, of course, I had to go down to Florida and take care of some things and notify my brothers about her passing and deal with all that and the emotions of hearing about your mother and her passing away was really tough on me. My mom has been the probably the biggest impactful person I've ever had in my life. I know a lot of people can relate to that. Of course, your parents are who created you. You're born to your parents. They're the first people that take care of you and guide you and help you get through things. But I had this special relationship with my mom, and something that I really cherish even today, even though, now that she's passed on. But, it was when I was really young, she was always there for me, taught me so many life principles and things to help me get through so many struggles that I was going to end up going through in my entire life. From the time I was born, we had this special bond because, I was born with spina bifida from the time I was born. And she kind of had it in her head that she felt a little guilty about the birth defect that I was born with, that maybe she had done something during her pregnancy that caused me to be born the way that I was. And of course, the doctors reassured her that that was not the case. But she still, I think had that in the back of her head. But, she played such a vital role in my life and helping me get through all those tough days that I've never had to overcome. And I could really rely on my mom to counsel with and to go to whenever I was going through a difficult situation. I remember as a young kid when I first had my major operation, when I had my legs amputated, my mom and dad were in the hospital with me, and my mom had spent most of the days with me, and then when she would go and leave at night, she'd be like, I'll see you in the morning, Dan, get some sleep, and I just hated it every night when she would leave me in the hospital, that I didn't want her to leave, because she was always there to hold my hand and, pat me on the head when I wasn't feeling well, and just an incredible person that she was, and to guide me to get through those tough times, just like any mother I'm sure would. She was also my mama bear, as I would always say, and she would say, don't mess with my cub. My mom was somebody that would defend me until the very end. Even if she even thought I was in the wrong, she would have my back in every situation. It didn't matter if you were an administrator or a pastor or if you were a neighbor. If she thought that you were not treating me right, she was right there to defend me and get in people's faces. But that was something that as I got older I really respected and understood. that, she was just always looking out for me, and what a vital role that she played in my life. And I'm so thankful for that. I miss her like crazy, of course. Even now I come home from work and it's 5 o'clock, and I would just call her, on the way home from work, and just, let her know how my day was, or check in and see what she was doing, or what, she was cooking for that night or meal. And, I really miss those times. And those were little 5-minute conversations that I had with her probably 2 or 3 times a week that I really miss, that I don't have anymore. And I share with you this little bit of story and these things with you because if your parents are alive and you're lucky enough to still have your parents in your life, let them know what they mean to you. It's such an important thing for them to hear from you. Not only, are they there for you to help you get through things, but also, there's somebody you can confide in and give them an encouragement that by saying, hey, you mean so much to me, and I appreciate the things that you've done for me and the things that you continue to do. I think that can really have a real impact on their day and what things that they're going through as your parent. And, the other thing that my mom taught me is with a love for cooking. Something that we all share in my family. My grandparents taught her, of course, and my aunts and uncles still enjoy it. And here we are, have a TV show where I'm cooking, and now I get to share with you a lot of her recipes, and even the recipe that I'm cooking today is one of her favorites, one of my family favorites, and something that she didn't really want me to share on the show. She kind of wanted to keep it a family secret and something that we always had together. But I think it's so important to, now that she has passed, to share her legacy and share those recipes with you guys. And I think she would be so proud and so honored that we are taking the time to share some of those recipes. So you'll see those different recipes throughout the show this season. Not every recipe is hers, but I'll be sure to let you know which ones are hers and what they mean to me and what she meant to me. I hope to share some more stories about the things that she's helped me through. Now that she's gone, I look back at those times and so grateful that God had put great parents in my life. My father, who's still living, of course, and my mom, and the things that she has done for me. I couldn't ask for better parents and people that really instilled with me God's love, the confidence in my faith that God was never going to leave us or forsake us. That is something they instilled in me, and I carry on today. As you know, many of the stories that I've had and all these operations and amputations and transplants and things that I've gone through, I couldn't have done it without my faith in God and what they taught me at a young age. From the time I was 5 years old, going to VBS and Sunday school, to, now being in my 40s and carrying on those principles that they taught me then. Hopefully, now that I'm sharing with you also, you'll have a stronger belief in your faith, and you're confident in your faith, everything that you're going through. We just totally rely on God. Even the loss of a parent, we know it's part of God's plan. We don't blame anybody for it. We just know that we're looking forward to the day that we're reunited in heaven and we get to see her again. So that is the situation that we're dealing with now. That's kind of why we're starting off with a Dano Talk. I thought it was so important that we shared with you right off the beginning, what had happened. And hopefully, like I said, we will be able to share some of those awesome recipes with you throughout the season. So let's head into the kitchen and let's get shopping and let's get those recipes going. All right, so today we're gonna make Mom's taco pie. So we're gonna do some ground beef here. We're gonna get some like 80-20 here, and has a little bit of fat in it, which is great flavor. We'll need about 2 pounds of this, so we'll need almost 2 of these. All right, so with our ground beef, we're gonna mix in some kidney beans and then tomato paste. You need 2 cans of 6-ounce cans of tomato paste. All right, to add to our ground beef and tomato paste, we'll just need a couple cans of kidney beans. So we'll grab like 3 or 4 of these. For our crust, we're gonna need a couple cups of flour. So we'll grab some all-purpose flour. So we're gonna grab some Crisco here, the shortening that we're gonna use to grease our pan, but also make our crust with. We're gonna mix with our flour and our egg and some sour cream to make our crust. This is gonna help us make that crispy bottom of the pie and also help that slide right out of that dish and make a great slice itself to come out right out of the pan. So we'll grab one of these and then we'll just need a couple spices and we're good to go.
Made by Vogel is a father and son business that produces high-quality handmade wooden products such as cutting boards, bowls, bottle stoppers, and more. Products for sale can be found on their Etsy site or in downtown Altoona at the Clay Cup. You can't go wrong buying from Made by Vogel.
Hi, my name is Dad Dick,
And I'm Aiden. We're the 5th generation of Dick's Home Care.
and our family is here for your health.
Purify O3 is the simple, effective way to clean your CPAP or BiPAP. It provides hospital-grade sanitation, killing 99.99% of bacteria and germs with the touch of a button. Everything you need comes in one affordable kit for just $1.90. It's available exclusively at Dick's Home Care, Central Pennsylvania's leader in home medical equipment.
Hi, my name is Dad Dick,
And I'm Aiden. We're the 5th generation of Dick's Home Care.
and our family is here for your health.
If you're looking for a stair lift, I would definitely recommend Bruno stair lifts. The reason people get Bruno stair lifts from Dick's Home Care is it keeps them in the home that they love. We also have a rental program on the stair lifts. My customers coming back to me saying, I'm so glad I bought this.
Dick's Home Care, Central Pennsylvania's leader in mobility products.
Hey y'all, welcome into the kitchen today. Today we're gonna make one of my family's favorite recipes, taco pie. This is a recipe that my mom was always held dear to her heart, that she never really wanted me to share, but I'm sorry Mom, but this is a recipe I think everybody's gonna enjoy. It's something that we've always enjoyed in our house, and I just wanna share with everybody because it's a great tribute to who you are and what you've done in your life here with your family. So I hope Mom is not looking down from heaven and you know, a little bit upset with me for sharing her recipe, but I think she would be more than happy that I'm out here sharing it with you guys today. So to make this taco pie, we're going to start with our crust. We're going to use a cup of flour. When we have our nice KitchenAid mixer here, we're going to just dump our flour in here. And then to that, we're going to add our shortening that we got at the store. This is just a half a cup of Crisco. We're going to add that to this. And this crust is not like a pie crust, as you're thinking like apple pie or anything like that. It's a nice flaky crust that absorbs that flavor from that taco meat, and it's really crispy on the bottom, and it's really gonna be good. So to that, then we're just gonna add our baking powder. And then we're just gonna add to that our sour cream. We want about a half a cup of sour cream. Now this is gonna be pretty runny, and that's okay. We're just gonna pop it in the oven all together. So we're gonna use about half of this container here, about 1 cup. And this was a meal that we always ate as kids. And my family, my brothers, we always enjoyed it. Taco pie night. We always had different toppings for different people in our family. Some people liked different things on top. You know, the dad liked his taco sauce, and he would just drench taco sauce over it. As kids, we didn't really, do too much with that, all that spices and things like that. We kept it pretty simple, but we're gonna whip this up here. And the last ingredient to the crust is a couple eggs. So we're gonna throw these in here. And I'm making a mess today. Don't fall off the counter. That would be bad. I haven't fallen off yet, in 3 seasons, but I've come pretty close a couple times. So then we'll just continue to mix this up. And this, like I said, it's gonna be pretty runny, but that's all right, because that's what we want. You want a nice wet consistency. And it's going to be a little lumpy, and that's fine too. But once you bake this off, it's going to poof up. It's going to be a nice crust. And that's pretty much it for our crust. We'll just set this aside, and then we're going to do our filling with our ground meat and our kidney beans. All right, so we're going to make our taco pie filling here. We have our ground beef here. We're about 2 pounds, a little over. It's not going to hurt. Make sure this gets lit. It is lit. We got blue flame, which is a good thing. And we're just going to dump this meat in the pot. We're going to brown it off. We're just going to brown this up real quick. Make sure we got high heat there. This will take a couple minutes. And like I was saying, this is one of those recipes that we always ate as kids. My mom was fortunate enough that we were able to have her at home with us as kids. She ran a daycare inside our house. So she was always in the kitchen cooking. And something that really she passed on to us is the love for cooking, and something that she learned from her parents. And you know, my brother's a good cook. My other brother's a good cook. And my dad's a good cook. But we just all kind of learned a little bit from her. We all have our favorites. And this, of course, is probably, if not the favorite, one of the top 5 at least that we love to make. So that's why I thought it was pretty neat to share with y'all on the first episode coming back after Mom's passing. So we're just gonna brown this for a little bit here. This will take a couple minutes. All right, so we have our ground meat. It's drained. It's all brown. Now we're just gonna add our tomato paste. We have about 12 ounces, so 2 6-ounce cans. I'm just gonna dump this in here. Throw that in there with our ground beef. We'll add another can. All right, so there's that. And then to that, we're just gonna add our kidney beans. And these have been drained. Got all that goop off of them. And then we're just gonna heat this all up together, mix it all up. Stir that tomato paste in there with that meat and those beans. Just to really heat it up, really incorporate all that tomato paste in there. It'll melt down with all that heat from the meat. And this is going to be our taco meat for inside our taco pie, or on our taco pie. And this is one of those recipes that you can cook ahead of time and then reheat if you want. I know we ate it leftover the next day. Probably 1 or 2 days though, then the dough gets soggy in it. So after 2 days, it's time to give it to the dog or pitch it. So, but yeah, this is looking good. We're just gonna mix all this up. Got that nice red color from the tomato paste. Lots of ground beef in there. Everybody likes a good meaty taco. Now, here comes the controversy in our family. When my mom gave me this recipe, she had told me that there was cumin and chili powder in it. Now, my brother's recipe, the copy that he has, does not have those seasonings in it. So, since it's my show, I am going to go ahead and add the seasonings the way I remember it. And I apologize, Luke and Jen, but this is how I remember Mom making it and the way that I wrote it down. But we will see. And if you ever go to Luke's house and he makes it for you and it doesn't have that seasoning in it and it's fine, by all means you can leave this part out, but I think it just needs a little bit of something to it. So I'm gonna add just a little bit of chili powder and a little bit of cumin in there. So just a couple dashes. Because Luke's like, you're not making chili, you're making tacos. I'm like, I get it, but I don't know. my recipe that I had it in it. So I'm gonna just add a little bit of cumin in here. Just like a quarter teaspoon. All right. Stir that up. Now that smells more like taco pie that I remember, but like I said, everybody can do it however they want. Okay. All right, so that's good. Now it's time to just put it all together. All right, so we have our baking sheet here. We have our crust dough ready to go, our meat mixture. Now we have our oven preheated at 425. We're gonna bake this off for about 20-30 minutes just till it's nice and golden brown. Take our sheet pan here and we're just gonna take a little shortening here and we're just gonna grease the pan. That way this comes out nice and smooth. It's the easiest way I found to do it is just do it with your hands. I don't think there's an easier way to do this. This will give you the nice crust on the bottom. Nice golden color. Just get those edges there so you don't want it to stick and burn. Okay. Clean off the hands here so I don't slip and fall. Move this out of the way. And then we're ready just to dump our dough mixture inside here in this pan. And it's going to be a thin layer, and that's fine. Scrape this pan out here. All right, so we have our dough spread out here, and now we're just gonna add our meat mixture on top. Just a nice thin layer of meat, and this dough is gonna puff up all around this meat mixture. You don't want it too thick, but you also want everybody to get some in their piece, so spread this out. All right, I'm just leaving a little bit, like 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch on the edge, so that the crust can come up around it on the edges. Because the crust is actually pretty good all by itself. It's looking pretty good. And another scoop or so. All right, so we have our taco pie mixture on top of our dough. We're gonna pop this in the oven, 425 for about 20 to 30 minutes. While this is baking, we're gonna break for a quick commercial. We'll come back, we'll put our cheese on it, and we'll dig in.
Hi, my name is Dad Dick,
And I'm Aiden. We're the 5th generation of Dick's Home Care.
and our family is here for your health.
If you're considering a lift chair, call or stop in and see us at Dick's Home Care. Our chairs come in a wide variety of fabrics and finishes. We even have chairs that are able to be closer to your wall in case you have a small space.
Dick's Home Care, Central Pennsylvania's leader in mobility products.
When it's time for a new roof, Champion Roofing is your best choice. We're a certified award-winning roofing contractor, meaning your roof is done right the first time. Call today.
Champion Roofing, we're the solution.
All right, y'all, we took our taco pie out of the oven here. You can see that crust had a nice golden brown texture to it, and it puffed up pretty nicely. So now that it's still warm, I'm just gonna put our cheese on top and let that heat from all that temperature that we cooked it at, go ahead and melt this on top. Put a little bit more. Nice good layer of cheese. Now you don't have to necessarily put this back in the oven. The heat from the oven itself and the pie itself should melt this. It'll melt down on top. Then we're gonna cut it. We'll put some sour cream and taco sauce on here, and then we'll sit down and enjoy our taco pie. All right, welcome into the dining room, everybody. We have our taco pie here, my mom's special recipe that we've shared in our family for a very long time. I hope everybody at home gets to try it and enjoy this as well. Hopefully you get to go home and make it for yourself and your family, and you all enjoy it. But Troy and Chow, why don't you guys dig in and let me know what you think.
Very good.
Yeah?
Interesting.
Yeah. Never had something like this.
Yeah, I like the fluffy
Crust on it. Dress it up with a little taco sauce and sour cream. It's an easy meal to make at home and fast enough. Well, seems like they enjoyed it. I hope you guys can try it as well. Hopefully we did Mom proud. She's looking down from heaven and says we did a good job. So hopefully, hopefully she's up there enjoying some great food up there. Maybe not taco pie, but something good, I'm sure. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate all the support watching the show. We'll catch you next week on Dano on the Counter.